Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the show and supporting everything that we're building with Presence of Being. I would like to say before starting this recording, and I mentioned this in my last recording at the beginning, but I'm getting ready to release new hats. We did a run of these hats at the beginning of the year, and I'm getting ready to bring them back in September. At least that is the aim. If you go in the description of this video or the show notes of this video, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you'll be able to fill out a Google form, which will just let me know what kind of hats you want to see from me, colors, designs. I'm really open to all feedback. And like I said in my last recording, I want to get the community involved with this. I think that's like a really cool way to go about releasing these hats and just getting the community involved, getting the community's input when we do releases like this. So if you haven't yet, go fill out the Google form. I would greatly appreciate that. And also, if you're interested in getting a hat when they release, people who sign up for the email list will get first access to the website when the website is unlocked before anybody else. So if you want to sign up for the email list, again, in the description of this video, in the show notes of this video, you'll be able to sign up for the email list on the website. So I just wanted to say that before getting into this recording. Thank you again for all the support and for just being a part of everything that we're building with Presence of Being. It truly does mean the world to me. So what I'm going to talk about in this recording is something that I actually recorded to myself in a audio journal format that I did a few days ago, but I want to re-record it and release it in a more polished way because I think it can be of value to somebody listening. But if you have listened to this podcast in the past, previous episodes, I've definitely mentioned that one really good journal technique that I do is like a stream of consciousness audio journal where you just go for a walk, for example, and just start talking to your phone as if you were on a phone call with a friend. You just take out the voice notes on your phone and just start talking and see what comes out. And I did that. It's something that I do probably a couple times a week, honestly. And I just wanted to talk about embodying the energy of the things that you want and how this process, at least to me, works. So if there was like a step-by-step guide you could follow to really start embodying the energy of the things that you want, this is at least how I see it. So I think the first step is ultimately definition. Definition is the first step to attraction. If you don't know what it is you want, if you don't have a direction that you're going in, how do you expect to get to the places that you ultimately want to be in? The first step is definition. So get clear on what it is you want, first and foremost. A lot of people, if you ask them what it is they want, they don't have an actual definite chief aim, like a definite direction that they're headed in. Now, I'm 23 and I will be 24 next month. I don't know a lot of 23-year-olds who know what they're going to be doing for the rest of their life and have a definite chief aim that they're working towards every single day that they know is their mission. Because as you grow older, as you develop, as you mature, your mission, your purpose is going to change. I feel like just as you grow, as you evolve, your mission, your purpose is going to evolve as well. I believe that Presence of Being at this moment in time is my purpose, building this lifestyle brand that I see it being, promoting presence, promoting looking inward rather than looking externally for fulfillment, and that understanding really coming from being in the moment, being yourself in the moment, and meditation, all this stuff. I've spoken about it many times. That's what I see Presence of Being, and that's what I believe my purpose, my mission is currently. Every single piece of content I put out, these recordings, the clothing, the hats, everything, it's all ultimately backed by that mission. Like I said, that mission is only going to evolve and grow and change as I grow and evolve and change. If you are someone who is into self-development, and you want to get better and grow and just be the best version of yourself, you want to level up in each category of life, the categories of life, the areas of life that you care to improve in, then you probably understand that where you are right now and your beliefs and just who you are as a person is going to change 6 months from now or a year from now, because your mindset is fixed on growth, is fixed on developing and getting better and improving. So your personal mission or purpose, or the things that you are working hard towards getting to, specific goals, are going to change, because you're going to change. You're going to get better and grow and be in a different spot 6 months or a year from now than you are right now. So you just have to appreciate that and know that, while also still having, I think, in my opinion, something that you're working towards, a clear goal that you are working towards, or a desire that you see for yourself in some way, shape, or form. We're always growing, we're always improving, we're always developing, we're always maturing, but having a goal, getting clear on what that goal is, I think is the first step. For the longest time when I was in university, my first couple years of university, I had absolutely no idea what it is I wanted to do with my life. I had no mission, no purpose, and I was drifting through life. If you have read anything from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, or Outwitting the Devil, he talks about how drifters don't get places. If you drift, then you ultimately don't get to the places that you want to get to. You don't even know what it is you want, and you're just drifting through life, coasting through life, and that's not really what you want. It's not something that you want to experience. People who have a definite chief aim, a definite purpose in life, I can actually pull up right here the definition of what Napoleon Hill would claim as someone who has a definite chief aim, or someone who is a non-drifter. So this is from Outwitting the Devil. He says, I can best define the word drift by saying that people who think for themselves never drift, while those who do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws his way without making a protest or putting up a fight. He doesn't know what he wants from life and spends all of his time getting just that. Drifting without aim or purpose is the first cause of failure. Without a plan for life, concentrated effort, and persistent activity, you will have no means of controlling your own destiny. And a non-drifter is described as someone who is always engaged in doing something definite through some well-organized plan, which is definite. He has a major goal in life, which he is always working, and many minor goals of which lead towards his central scheme. The tone of his voice, the quickness of his step, the sparkle in his eye, the quickness of his decisions clearly mark him as a person who knows exactly what he wants and is determined to get it no matter how long it may take or what price he must pay. And basically he just keeps on going on and on. But people who are non-drifters are people who have a definite chief aim in life. They know the direction that they are headed in, and because of this, they have a standard that they set for themselves. And in the world that we live in, which sometimes can be very uncertain, our standard gives us certainty. We know every single day if we are working towards the places that we see for ourselves, the action that we take consistently is ultimately going to help us get to a specific destination. Outwitting the Devil, which is the book that I just read from, is written by Napoleon Hill. You may know Napoleon Hill. If you're at all interested in self-development, I'm sure you've heard of him, or maybe you've read the book Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is a very, very popular book in the self-development space. And within Outwitting the Devil specifically, which is like a more low-key, underrated book that I don't really see a lot of people talking about, but it's great. He basically just talks about, like, one of the most primary things he talks about in the book is how in order to get what it is you want out of life, you can't be a drifter. You have to be a non-drifter and someone who has a definite plan or some sort of goal, something that they are working towards. And at least if you don't know what it is, you're like in some way, shape, or form trying to figure out what it is instead of just coasting, drifting through life. So that is step one, definition. Know what it is you want. So I think the next important point is realizing that absolutely everything is energy. Everything is energy, and when you start operating on the same frequency, the same level of energy as the things that you want, only then are you really going to be able to perceive the world in a way that helps you move closer to where it is you want to go. And I'm going to explain what that means to the best of my ability. In order to align your energy with the things that you want, you're going to have to think a certain way and feel a certain way. Now, emotion is energy in motion. And the way that you feel and the way that you think is ultimately going to impact the level of energy that you are operating from, the frequency that you are on. And your state of being is the energy that you are embodying. Like, your state of being is the energy level that you're at, the frequency that you're at. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings all impact the energy that you are operating from. Now, and I think this is really important and really, really cool, you are going to get feedback in some way, shape, or form from your life when you are operating on the same frequency as the things that you want. When you are operating from that level of energy and you start embodying that level of energy, you are going to perceive the world in a different way. You are going to see things that give you direction. You're going to see signs. You're going to see synchronicities that confirm what you know to be true within you. You quite literally start viewing the world in a different way. And in a way that's more in alignment with the things that you want, because you're on that level of energy. Two people can be looking at the exact same thing and see very different things, perceive things in very different ways. For example, if you want to experience more abundance, let's say, in your life, if you can tune into the frequency of abundance by thinking more abundantly, believing in your ability to experience more abundance, you are going to start noticing slowly over time things in your life that confirm that feeling. You're going to be open to more abundance. You're going to see more abundance. You're going to perceive more abundance in your world, in your life. You're going to start to realize that the world is incredibly abundant. You're going to start to believe in the fact that you can experience abundance in your life and that the world, like I said, is abundant. The universe is abundant. You're going to start to develop an abundant mindset. You're going to start to realize that just because somebody else is winning at doing something that you want to do, that doesn't mean that you can't win. You're going to start to realize, wait, I want to win in this specific field, and there's somebody that I see winning in that field. Like, I'm going to cheer them on instead of being jealous, instead of being bitter. You're just going to start to notice that you actually are grateful for the fact that you can see that in your world, that you see somebody doing something that you want to do and they're winning and there's enough room for both of you to win. That's having an abundance mindset. And this specifically is an example that I'm giving for my own life and something that I've noticed in my own life. Like, my mindset has shifted completely when it comes to this. I go for a walk and I just see abundance everywhere. Now, it doesn't have to be abundance like material, like fancy things, shiny, flashy things. It's just like you can go for a walk in nature, for example, and just notice the abundance of nature and just feel that abundance. And I know it sounds like spiritual woo-woo, but like, it's just true. Like, you can experience the abundance in nature. You can experience abundance if you're walking downtown and there's skyscrapers. Like, you're just in the abundance, or you're walking in a very busy place and there's an abundance of people. Like, you're just more aware of that. You could look at a piece of art and notice the abundance of like detailing in the artwork, or the attention to detail, and whatever it might be. Like, you just start to notice more abundance in your life in different forms, and you're more open to it. You're more aware of it. You will notice that your beliefs change when you've shifted your energy. The way that you used to think, the things that you used to believe, it just starts to slowly change. It starts to slowly evolve to become more in alignment with what it is you want, and like the version of you who has the things that you want. Because the version of you who has the things that you want thinks certain things, they believe certain things, they take certain actions. And if you align your energy to that, to the things that you want, to the version of you that has the things that you want, you're just going to start acting a certain way, believing a certain way, believing certain things about the world. You're going to start talking in a certain way. It's interesting. It really is. So it's kind of just like you have this lens that you're viewing the world through when you shift your energy. And it's really freaking cool when you start noticing things in your life confirm that change. Like, things are happening. Drastic changes may not be happening overnight. Things aren't going to change overnight, but who you are starts to change. The way that you view the world will start to change. And when you get that, like, direct response from the world, from just who you are and how you carry yourself, you know that changes are being made. You've shifted your energy. And that's really the start of all of it. You're tuning yourself. You are dialing yourself into the energy, the frequency of the things that you want. You're going to be open to opportunity. You're going to be open to possibility. Because you're seeing the world differently. You're viewing the world from a different lens, from a specific lens. And like I said, when you shift your energy, when you start embodying the energy of the things that you want, that's when you start getting those impulses. That's when you start getting that inspiration. That's when you start getting signs, seeing synchronicities that are like the universe being like, all right, like, let's go. Like, you're in the right direction. You have guidance because you're on the energy. You're in alignment. Now, when you're on this frequency, it's important to be present. The more centered and the more present we become, the more tuned we're going to be. Our intuition is an incredible gift, and you're only really able to pick up on your intuition, pick up on those impulses. You're only really going to be able to see those signs, see those synchronicities when you are still, when you are present, and when you aren't in your head 24/7 thinking about the past or the future. When you aren't trying to control how everything needs to be, when you just kind of detach and let go, and you're still, you're present internally, your intuition will act as your internal guidance system, your internal compass. That's going to tell you, do this, go here, speak to this person, don't go there. It's just going to give you that direction. And that direction is only going to help you continue to move in the direction of the things that you want. You're already on the frequency. You're already dialed in. By getting still, being present, your intuition is just going to tell you to take that action. And it may not make sense, but it doesn't need to make sense. It'll make sense after the fact. Logically, it may not make sense, but if it feels right in your heart and in your gut, and you feel connected to whatever your intuition is telling you, then, like I said, if you act on it, if you start taking action in small ways towards it, then it'll make sense after the fact. Like Steve Jobs says, or like he said, he has a famous quote. It's like, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust and have faith that the dots are going to connect in your future. But if you follow your intuition, it's only going to help you move forward. And it's done through being in the moment, being here, being now, being present. Like I said, it's not like changes are going to happen overnight, I don't think. But you're just going to feel intuitively, this is what you should do. This is the action that you should take. Like, you're going to have to act. You're going to have to make moves. But that action that you take feels in alignment. Like, there won't be resistance. It'll feel in rhythm. It'll feel in flow. Now, not only are you going to be able to pick up on your intuition and be open to your intuition when you are present, but when you are present, and if you get anything from this recording, let it be this. When you start practicing presence, when you get centered internally, when you are really in the moment and make it a priority to be in the moment, you start feeling more whole, full, and complete now as you are. And you no longer seek things in the external to make you feel fulfilled, satisfied, and happy. What this does is it takes the things that you want off of a pedestal. We've been conditioned in society to place extreme value on certain external goals, getting somewhere, thinking that that's going to provide us with ultimate happiness. But when you start feeling more whole, full, and complete now in this moment through presence, just connecting with yourself internally, building that foundation with yourself internally, you no longer feel like you need to get somewhere to feel a certain way. And that brings the things that you want off of a pedestal and you no longer think that it's more valuable than you, and you just look at the things that you want at eye level. And when you approach your goals or getting to your goals, or you start taking action from this place of like, not, it's like detachment, but it's like you're cool if it happens, and you're also cool if it doesn't happen because you're like fulfilled internally already and you have that foundation within, then there's more flow in the action that you take because you're not approaching it with this needy energy. And also, and I'll mention this like later in this recording, but when you can approach the things that you want from this detached state, and you trust God, you trust the universe, like you know deep down that the things that are meant for you will not pass you. If you like really, really need this to happen and you have so much weight associated with the things that you want, you put it up on a pedestal, which means it looks down on you, and you build this unnecessary gap. You build this unnecessary separation between you and the places that you want to get to. And guess what? If you want to get to your goals, you need to believe that it's actually possible for you. Like you need to actually genuinely believe that you can do this, and you need to have that confidence. And when you just place this unnecessary weight on the things that you want, and there's so much value associated to getting it, and you create this gap, this separation between where you are right now and where it is you want to go, that's really going to hinder your confidence. You're not going to believe that you're actually capable of getting there. And slowly over time, if you start continuing to just feel this way, like you're not going to be confident in the moves that you make and the action that you take, and your goal may just fade away. So practicing presence, feeling more whole, full, and complete now is going to enable you, at least in my opinion, to take the things that you want off of a pedestal so it no longer looks down on you. You're looking at it at eye level, and then you start taking action from this place of completeness and wholeness and love, not feeling like you need anything or you lack something and you're struggling and like you need to take a bunch of action out of feelings of like incompleteness to get to the places that you want to get to. In my opinion, the best way you can start feeling more whole is just returning back home, spending time in presence, really centering yourself as you go about the day. Meditating is obviously huge here. If you're someone who's never meditated before, I highly recommend, starting for 5 minutes a day. I think it'll make a world of a difference. And if you're someone who's never meditated before, I have a video on my channel or a recording that you can find. It's called Meditation 101. So you can watch that, and I go into, the basics of meditation from just my perspective and from my experience. But I'm telling you, like, when I started meditating consistently, you feel more whole. Like, you just feel good internally, and you just develop this assurance within yourself, this confidence, this quiet confidence of yourself. And you realize that although it's fantastic to be ambitious and to want to get somewhere and go after your goals, you're good with yourself. Like, you're good internally, and you don't feel like you need things externally. You aren't dependent. Your happiness is not dependent on something externally, getting to a goal. Because guess what? Even if you do get to that goal, it may provide you with feelings of like fulfillment and satisfaction temporarily for like a couple weeks, couple months, maybe a couple years even. But you're always going to want something more. You're always going to want something new. Eventually those feelings will fade and you'll want something new. You want something new and shiny after it. But when you're fulfilled internally, that feeling is constant. You're like, you've built the foundation with yourself. Eckhart Tolle talks about this, but like true feelings of abundance come from within. And then that abundance is expanded outwardly in the things that you do. I said at the beginning of this recording, it's like when you start noticing things in your environment confirm the changes that you made internally, that's like really cool. It's really exciting. Like if you're someone who wants more abundance in your life, start with the source yourself, get present, start feeling more whole and full internally through presence. And then you're going to start noticing on the next level, the next layer outwardly, it's like you start noticing more abundance in your life. You start noticing all the abundance of the things around you. And then the next level, the next layer after that is like you start drawing more abundance to you because of who you are. So it's just that natural progression. You're always going to feel out of reach if you chase the things that you want, because chasing implies lack. It implies you do not have. It's out of reach, and it will always be out of reach if the things that you want are on a pedestal. So take it off the pedestal. When you can take action from this detached state, You understand that you're worthy regardless of if you get to your desired destinations or not. Like, you're good with yourself. You have the power when this happens, when you start feeling this way. You have the power. You're the one that's really in control. You don't feel like somebody or something is like dangling something in front of you and you're just chasing something on the hamster wheel trying to get there. You're the one in control. You've taken your power back. And through presence, like I said, you start increasing your awareness of the fact that you're whole, full, and complete now. And you know that the universe, God, is on your side. And everything that you experience is happening for you. Like, there's always something to learn from the things that you go through. You're always being guided towards something for you. It's there to teach you something. And even if things unfold in a way that you didn't anticipate them unfolding in, it's there to teach you something. You're developing character traits. You're developing something that's going to help you move ultimately in the direction of where it is you want to go. You're always being guided to something great. And if you believe that and you can gain confidence from that, incredible. Because from that state, from that knowing, trusting, having faith that things are always happening for you and for your betterment, like, you start developing this knowing and this certainty that you're meant to do the things that you're doing, or the goals, the dreams that you have, you're meant for it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say everything needs to be all positive and flowery. Like, I get it. Like, we're all human beings. We all go through shit. Sometimes we all have to do things that we don't want to do. Some days aren't going to be good. Some days will be good. And it's important to be grateful for the days that we have that, go great. And unfortunately, we all experience days in which we aren't motivated, and days, where things happen and we don't expect them to happen. And it can get frustrating, of course. Like, I get that. I understand that. But I think, in my opinion, like, if you have a goal that you're working towards, or something that you want to do, action that you want to take, it's important to set a certain standard for yourself and realize that this is your life, and you can choose to focus on what it is you do have and be grateful for that, and allow those feelings of gratitude to help you move forward in whatever degree you can move forward. And also just appreciate that nobody's perfect. Nobody has all the answers. But like I said, if you set a certain standard for yourself and you show up every day, you take action towards a certain goal, like, you are moving in that direction, and you should hopefully gain confidence in that. I hope that makes sense. Like, not every day is going to be flowery and perfect and all sunshine and rainbows. Like, I get that. But if you are grateful for the things that you do have, and you have a certain standard that you set for yourself, and you show up consistently, and you know that your goal is to continue to make progress and continue to move forward in whatever way, shape, or form that may be for you, whatever that looks like for you, if you can continue to move forward, hopefully you can just continue to gain confidence in yourself, be able to gain that positive momentum, and good things will happen when you show up. Like, something will click. You'll make progress in incredible ways if you can just continue to show up and be grateful for where you are in your journey, and trust in your journey, and have faith in your journey. So I think it's just important to note that. If you, I'm sure you've seen videos, I know I have, they pop up on my YouTube recommendations all the time, but it's like, you see these videos of these famous people, these celebrities, movie stars, athletes, whoever it might be, they're interviewed. If you type in any celebrity, whatever, and then manifest or law of attraction after their name, you'll see endless videos. You'll see them, endless videos of them being asked about their journey to getting to the places that they are now in. And they're like, I knew it was done. I just knew it was mine. And some of them, it comes off as a bit arrogant. Some of them, it's just certainty in themselves. They knew it was going to happen. They saw it before it happened. They would visualize it. They saw it. And it's true. You just develop this inner knowing that the things that you want are yours. You develop this inner certainty that the things that you want are yours. Slowly over time, when you start embodying the energy of the things that you want and seeing it internally, visualizing it. And visualization is an incredible tool that you can use. Start seeing yourself in the position that you want to be in. Feel it. And over time, it's going to feel real. And it starts to feel normal. It starts to feel natural. You normalize the feeling of being in that energy. And when that happens, that feeling of inner knowing and certainty is just going to continue to rise. And when you finally get to the places that you want to get to, obviously you're grateful, but you knew it was going to happen because you've already felt it. You've been in the energy. You've been accustomed to this energy already. And when you visualize, don't only visualize the success, the achievement, visualize the feeling. Visualize what it would feel like to be in the places that you want to be in, or have the things that you want to have. Visualize the feeling of calmness, the feeling of security, the feeling of just self-assurance within yourself. And when you visualize consistently, you make it a habit to really embody the energy, because of course it's something that, you're going to be in and out of this feeling as you go about the day. Things are going to happen. Sometimes you'll react to certain things. Like, nobody's perfect, but if you could do it consistently and you make it a habit to visualize and like see yourself and embody the energy of the things that you want and the person you want to become, if you do it repeatedly, instead of you feeling like excitement all the time, instead of you feeling like so excited whenever you visualize, soon you're just going to feel certainty within yourself. It's going to give you peace. It's going to feel like this is right. And it's like this quiet confidence that you get. And I think when you get yourself to that point, then like it literally is done. Like, you just have the knowing that it is yours now. Also, I just would like to add, when you start embodying the energy of the things that you want and you start noticing things in your life change, so it's like in alignment with that vision or with the goal that you may have. And I said this example in a few recordings ago, but let's say you have a goal for like what you want your body to look like, a fitness goal, a health goal, and you're just going about your day, you're grocery shopping, let's say, you're out and you're picking food, and you start just naturally like putting healthier options in your cart. Like, that moment, be present, take a deep breath, and confirm to yourself that you are now in alignment, like you are becoming more in alignment, and that your vision is being drawn to you. Because our mental narratives, the things that we tell ourselves repeatedly, make a difference in our lives. Like, we're going to experience more of the things that we continuously tell ourselves. So when you put healthier options in your cart, tell yourself in that moment that you are becoming more in alignment with your vision. While this is happening, when you confirm to yourself that positive changes are happening, like, realize the only thing that exists is the present moment. The only thing that we experience is the now. So when you confirm that positive changes are happening in the now, you are literally saying that, like, this is your life. Like, you are improving, you are becoming that person. It is being drawn to you in the now. Make your mental narrative positive and make it so it's in alignment with your goal, if that makes sense. Like, when you start noticing that you're acting differently, tell yourself that you're acting differently. Confirm it. Have a confirmation. Confirm it. See, this is who I'm becoming now. It's being drawn to me. And hopefully that'll give you some confidence as well, because your mental narrative, like what you tell yourself throughout the day, sometimes is even unconscious. But if you are present, you can consciously like start telling yourself a more uplifting and positive story, which is definitely going to make a big difference. Gain confidence in the knowing that what's in alignment with God's will for you, if it's your heart's desire, it will happen. And you're always being guided to something great. You're always being guided to something that's going to help teach you something, so you can be more equipped at handling whatever your goal is required of you. Always being guided in the right direction. That should hopefully provide you with some confidence. And eventually you'll get to a point, like I said, where you just know that you're meant for this. Like, it's yours, it's done, and you have certainty around it. Live your dream today. Don't chase your dreams. Live your dream today. Anybody who has achieved anything great or done anything significant with their life, like, saw it within themselves, visualized it before it happened. And that's like the truth. Like, what we call it delusion, call it whatever it is you want. There's got to be a little grain of delusion, a little sprinkle of delusion in order to actually make something happen. Like, regardless of what's going on around you or what other people say, like, screw everyone else's opinion. If you see it and you feel it and you know, like, deep down that you could do this, like, take action, make it happen. Like, you can change your life if you change your energy. and you change the way that you think. But you start with the foundation internally. You start from the inside out. And it's not your job to figure out the how. It's not your job. Your job is to focus on energy, focus on the energy, focus on embodying that energy, the energy of the things that you want. But you need to believe that it's actually possible for you, and you need to be on your own team. You need to be on your own side here. That's why I say, like, the mental narrative is important. The story that you tell yourself is important. Look around, be grateful for what it is you have. Like, I'm sure there's a few things in your life right now that you are overlooking that you could be expressing more gratitude towards. And I guarantee you that if you start feeling more grateful and expressing gratitude, your mental narrative is going to change. You're going to start telling yourself a more uplifting and positive story. Your mind is going to be looking for things in your life to be grateful for. And like I said, you need to be on your own team here. You need to actually believe that you're capable of achieving success. Look at things that you've done in the past that were successful. Even small things, like gain that confidence internally and start telling yourself a more uplifting and positive story. Because you have to be on your own side here. The most important person that needs to believe in your success is you. Be kinder to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is something that I struggle with too. If you're ambitious, you have a big goal, like you want to take action consistently, you want to see changes, you want to see the fruits of your hard work, it will come. But be kinder to yourself, and also just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process of becoming and growing and getting better. Like I said at the very beginning of this episode, like, your vision is going to change, your goals are going to change, you're going to grow, you're going to mature, you're going to get better with time, and just enjoy every single part of your journey to becoming and growing, because it's truly is a blessing to be able to be here and go after your goals. Like, this shit is really cool. Like, you can actually do this. It's not only not only a specific group of people can do this. Like, you can do this. It's really cool, and you can actually apply this in your own life. But it's just about, like I said, being a friend of yourself and being patient with yourself, and just continuing to grow and learn as you progress, like I said, because nobody is perfect and everyone is all just here trying to figure this shit out. So take it easy on yourself. So like I said, I had recorded this for myself a few days ago, and I wanted to just put it out here because hopefully this will help someone. I'm just learning this myself and sharing what I know, and hopefully this can provide value to somebody. I want to thank you again for being a part of our community and for being here and listening. This is probably the longest recording I've ever done, actually. So milestone, I guess, there. If you haven't filled out the Google form, it'll be in the description or the show notes of this video. Let me know what kind of colors you want. Let me know what designs you want. Like, I'm literally open to all feedback. If you want a hat, you can sign up for the email list and just represent the Presence of Being community, that present lifestyle that we're trying to promote here. So I don't think there's anything else I want to say. If you have any comments or questions, you can DM me on Instagram at Presence of Being, follow community over there. And thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in the next recording. I just realized that this recording is like 40 minutes. Jeez, that is a long time. So if you've gotten this far, if you've listened to this entire thing, props to you. I really do appreciate it. So thank you. And again, I will see you in the next recording. I don't know if it's going to be this long. It probably won't, but who knows?